You know what honestly blows my mind every time I think about Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1? It is the audacity of Warner Bros. To look at a single book, see dollar signs, and decide to chop it in half. But here's the thing, it actually works. This movie isn't just a cash grab, it's a necessary, slow-burning descent into madness that we absolutely needed. Let's be real for a second, though. This movie is basically Harry Potter and the Infinite Camping Trip. If you strip away the magic wands and the invisible cloaks, it is just a story about three high school dropouts living in a tent, smelling bad, and being grumpy. And I love it. The film kicks off immediately with the darkest vibes imaginable. There is no whimsy left. The Warner Bros. Logo is rusting and decaying, which is basically the director screaming at you, "Abandon all hope, ye who enter here." We don't get a fun intro, we get Hermione erasing herself from her parents' memories. I want to talk about that scene because it is absolutely devastating. It sets the tone for the entire film. Hermione isn't just leaving home, she is effectively killing her past to save her future. The silence in that scene is louder than any explosion could ever be. It hurts physically to watch. Then we jump to the Seven Potters sequence, which is the only time we really get to laugh in this entire runtime. Seeing Daniel Radcliffe act as six other people acting as him is a masterclass in physical comedy. Fleur's disgust at being Harry? Hilarious. Mundungus being sketchy? Classic. But the movie doesn't let you stay happy, because literally 5 minutes later, Hedwig is dead. That was the moment my childhood officially ended. They killed the owl, guys. The innocent bird didn't do anything wrong. It's a brutal reminder that in this war, nobody is safe, not even the pets. Let's dive into the wedding scene. It feels like the last gasp of air before drowning. It is beautiful, it's magical, and then the ministry falls. The Patronus message arriving with the line, "The ministry has fallen, Scrimgeour is dead, they are coming," is straight up terrifying. It turns into a war movie instantly. Now we have to talk about the Ministry of Magic heist. This is hands down the best sequence in the movie. It's tense, it's claustrophobic, and it's weirdly funny. Harry, Ron, and Hermione infiltrating a fascist government while disguised as middle-aged bureaucrats is the plotline I didn't know I needed. The production design here is insane. The Ministry looks like a nightmare version of a 1940s office building mixed with pure evil. And seeing Imelda Staunton back as Umbridge, my blood pressure spiked immediately. She is wearing that pink cardigan while sentencing Muggleborns to death. The woman is a monster. The elevator scene during the escape is pure chaos. Harry just decides to stop being subtle and starts blasting spells. The visual of the papers flying everywhere and the torrential rain inside the office is iconic. It shows that the Golden Trio are way out of their depth, but they are fighting anyway. But once they get the locket, the movie shifts gears completely. We enter the camping phase. A lot of people complain that this part is boring, but I completely disagree. This is where the character development actually happens. This is where we see what war does to teenagers. The locket is basically a toxic friend that hangs around your neck and whispers your worst insecurities into your ear. It turns Ron, who is usually the comic relief and the heart of the group, into a jealous, angry mess. And honestly, it is realistic. You would be grumpy too if you were starving in the woods. Ron leaving the group is heartbreaking. It breaks the dynamic completely. Rupert Grint's acting in this movie is underrated. He sells the frustration, the physical pain of the splinching, and the emotional toll of feeling like the third wheel. When he leaves, the silence in the tent becomes deafening. Then we get the controversial dance scene, Harry and Hermione dancing to "Oh Children" by Nick Cave. Some people think it's cringe. I think those people have no soul. It is a moment of pure platonic love. They are two kids trying to forget just for 3 minutes that they are probably going to die. It is awkward, yes, but have you met teenagers? Teenagers are awkward. It is a human moment in a movie full of monsters. It shows that Harry and Hermione have a bond that doesn't need to be romantic to be powerful. It's just two survivors holding on to each other.
Next up is the trip to Godric's Hollow. This is straight up a horror movie. The atmosphere is thick with dread. The graveyard scene is sad. Seen Harry find his parents' grave, but the visit to Bathilda Bagshot's house? Nightmare fuel. Pure, unadulterated nightmare fuel. When the old lady starts speaking parcel tongue and then her body decomposes to reveal a giant snake, I almost threw my popcorn at the screen. It is such a gross, visceral violation of safety. It proves that there's nowhere left in the world where Harry is safe. Let's fast forward to Ron's return, the scene at the frozen pond. First of all, Harry, my dude, why are you diving into freezing water with the Horcrux on? That is literally rule number 1 of things not to do. But it sets up Ron's redemption arc perfectly. Ron saving Harry and then destroying the locket is the emotional climax of the film for me. The vision the locket shows him, Harry and Hermione making out, is brutal. It is Ron's worst fear made manifest. But he overcomes it. He kills the fear. That is bravery. We need to talk about the tale of the 3 brothers. The animation sequence is a masterpiece. It looks like a shadow puppet show directed by Tim Burton. It is stylish, eerie, and explains the plot device of the Hallows without being a boring lecture. It is honestly one of the most creative decisions in the entire franchise. It separates the myth from the reality of the movie's world. It feels ancient and spooky. Whoever pitched that idea at the creative meeting deserves a massive raise and a fruit basket. Then we hit the final act, Malfoy Manor. This is where things get real. Bellatrix Lestrange is unhinged. Helena Bonham Carter is having way too much fun playing her. The scene where she tortures Hermione is genuinely hard to watch. It is raw and uncomfortable. But then, Dobby, the hero we didn't deserve. Dobby showing up to save the day is the hypest moment of the film. Dobby has no master. Dobby is a free elf. Chills, guys. Literal chills. He drops a chandelier on the bad guys and teleports everyone out. King behavior. However, the movie decides to rip our hearts out one last time. The beach scene. Why? Why did they have to do it like that? Dobby dying in Harry's arms is the saddest death in the series. Yes, sadder than Dumbledore. I said what I said. Dobby was the most innocent character. He just wanted to help his friend. His last words being Harry Potter is the perfect, tragic end to his arc. If you didn't cry during this scene, you are probably a robot or a Dementor. It hurts because it feels so unfair. The film ends on a massive cliffhanger, Voldemort breaking into Dumbledore's tomb. It is such a violation, taking the Elder Wand from the dead hands of the greatest wizard ever. It sets up the stakes for Part 2 perfectly. The bad guy has the ultimate weapon. Voldemort shooting that beam of light into the sky is the ultimate power move. It leaves the audience feeling hopeless. Our heroes are broken, they just buried their friend, and the villain has just leveled up. It is the definition of a dark middle chapter. Ultimately, Deathly Hallows Part 1 is a mood piece. It's about atmosphere, character psychology, and the calm before the storm. It proves that you don't need a big battle scene every 20 minutes to make a compelling blockbuster. It respects the audience enough to slow down. It lets us breathe. It lets us grieve with the characters. It transforms Harry, Ron, and Hermione from school kids to soldiers. It strips away the safety net of Hogwarts and forces them to grow up. So, yeah, it is a camping movie, but it is the best camping movie ever made. It's depressing, it's gray, it's frustrating, and it is beautiful. It makes the payoff in Part 2 feel earned. You have to go through the mud to appreciate the victory. If you haven't watched it in a while, give it another go, but maybe keep a box of tissues nearby for the elf scene. And don't watch it if you are already sad, because this movie is not a pick-me-up. It is a drag-me-down-and-kick-me-in-the-ribs kind of movie. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents on this magical depression fest. I'm gonna go eat some chocolate and pretend Dobby is still alive on a farm somewhere. Peace out, wizards and muggles. Catch you on the flip side.